Hi guys, welcome to another FOREX YouTube video with Spence. I want to say a very big thank you for everybody tuning into my YouTube channel, liking and subscribing. In today's videos, we'll be talking about equity trading with lot size. I have partially talked about lot size in my previous video where we talked about complementing trading respect with lot size. So in this video, I'll be showing you equity trading with lot size. First, what's an equity? Equity is the amount available to trade with, and it can be associated with balance. I know you must have seen in your MT4, MT5, whereby balance is above, equity is then below. Then you see these two. These two can actually be, divided into three sessions. It can actually mean different things in three ways, whereby we have equity is greater than the balance. That is telling you you're in a trade and you're winning the trade. And we have another one where we have balance is greater than the equity. In this case, it's telling you that you are already losing a trade, you're in a trade. But when your equity is equal to your balance, it's telling you that you are literally in no trade. So this is the three scenarios whereby we have balance is greater than equity. Equity that is telling you in a losing trade, meaning the amount available to trade is lesser than your balance because you're actually in a loss. Then when you have balance is lesser than equity, is telling you in a winning trade. In this case, your equity is greater than your balance. In this case, your equity is greater. That means it's telling you that you have add profits to your initial money. Let's say you put in. Let me give you a good example. Let's say put in let's use this as an example. Let's say your balance is $200 and your equity is $300. So in this case, telling you that you are actually in the trade with $200. Let me use the molecular. You're actually in the trade with $200. Then you made a profit of $100 and you're still in the trade because at this situation, you can see that you are actually in a winning trade. So in a situation whereby we have $200 and $150 here, it's actually giving us this that you're in a losing trade. You are with $200. You get into the trade with $200 and your equity is $150. That means you are literally losing $50. You're still in a trade. That doesn't mean you can't end up winning the trade, but it's telling you that you are in a losing trade. So let's give another instance where we have balance equals to equity. Let's say your balance is 300 and your equity is 300. So in this case, it's telling you that you are in no trade or you are in no profit or no loss zone where you might literally be in no trade. Balance, in this case, we can see the balance and the equity. Now, what is this case? What is this telling us? It's telling me that you are in a winning trade. Why? Because the balance is lesser than the equity. So that's more of what an equity is all about in association with balance. So don't get confused about when you see your equity greater than your balance or your balance greater than your equity or both having the same price. So let's proceed to lot size. So how does lot size has to do with our equity? Lot size is literally your pull power. With the knowledge of lot size, you can tell how long your equity can withstand the loss, or how long your balance can stand the loss. What do I actually mean by that? What I meant by that is that with the knowledge of your lot size, you will be able to tell that, okay, this trade is going to take my equity is going to take a specific amount of loss before it can get to $0, which is burning down your account. With that knowledge, you know how long you can stay in the market with a certain price of equity. So I actually recommend $200 about for starting. That means your life to FOREX. I actually recommend $200, but I won't play down the I won't write up the idea of starting with a smaller amount of dollars. Let's say like 15 from like 25 to 150. I won't write that down, but I personally do recommend $200. So now, having the basic knowledge of equity and lot size, how lot size work with equity. Lot size work with equity in the essence that it tells you how long your equity can withstand a. So for example, $200 equity and balance. Let's do this way. Let's have it somewhere. Yeah, your balance. $200 and our equity. Remember, this is telling us we are in no trade, right? So I'll be using this as an example. I'm using $200 my recommended amount and my recommended price as an example for this video. So we'll be using a micro lot size, which is literally 0.01. So we have three types of traders. We have scalpers, we have the intraday trader, and we have the swing traders. So how can you associate your equity with your lot size? Now I'll be using a $200 account for an example. So for an intraday, let me use a scalper first. A scalper, I usually recommend to use nothing less than 0.05. For a $200 account, don't get it wrong. Now I'm using a $200 account to make an example on how to trade. So for scalpers, I would recommend use 0.05 for whatever trade you want to go into. And for intraday, /swing traders, I recommend use 0.01. That's a mini lot size. So for a scalper, I recommend you use 0.05. Remember, I'm talking about a $200 account, and for an intraday trader, I recommend you use 0.01. So why do I recommend a scalper to use 0.05 and an intraday /swing trader to use 0.01? A scalper want to get into the trade and take the fast pips. That means take what they can, target small small pips, and zoom out of the market. What an intraday looks, stay longer in the market than a scalper. So it will actually take 2,000 pips for an intraday trader or /swing trader to blow down their equity, and it will take 400 pips for a scalper to blow up their equity. Sticking to this lot size, that's 0.05 on a $200 account for a scalper, since they are in the market on a short-term goal to take what they can take and zoom off. That means it will take you to lose 4,400 pips for you to actually blow your $200. Why for an intraday it would take you 2,000 pips to blow your equity as an intraday and swing trader. So don't let me get you confused. Let me say this again. Since a scalper target is 0.05, target shorter pips, and they have a short-term goals on the market. On a $200 account with a 0.05 lot size, it will actually take you 400 pips to blow your equity as a scalper, and as an intraday or swing trader, it will take you 2,000 pips sticking to a micro lot size, which is 0.01 for a $200 account. That's why I actually recommend a $200 account to start with, because it is literally impossible for you to just blow 2,000 pips in just a day. So you've seen the correlation between your equity and your lot size. If you stick to what the lot size I just gave you now for an example for $200 account, you can see you lasting longer. That I said, the knowledge of lot size. With the knowledge of lot size, you can tell how long your equity can withstand a loss. So with the knowledge of having as an intraday or a swing trader using a 0.01 lot size on a $200, you know that you will need to blow your account if you can lose 2,000 pips, which is humanly impossible for a day. That's if you stick to currency and know what you're doing, your entry, and know, which I'll be showing you in our future videos. So just subscribe on your notification to get more videos from Spence, because the goals is to increase together our forex trading lifestyle and all. So either a scalper, I'll actually use intraday and swing trader, or a scalper. The minimum stop loss I expect you to have is 15 pips, and your maximum SL should be 40 pips. So let me give you an example of using the SL max. That's the maximum SL of 40 pips. As I stated above, like I said, I expect your SL to be SL expected to be a minimum of 15 pips and a max of 40 pips. As a scalper and as an intraday or swing trader, we want to be using an example of our SL max, which is 40 pips. So we want to correlate this. Now let's correlate this to our XL max. So you sticking to the our XMR of 40 pips, you will need approximately you will need to lose 100 times before you can blow off your $200 account. That's our having a max SL of 40 pips. And as an intraday trader, you need to lose 500 times, having a SL max of 40 pips, sticking to 0.05, and which is this is keeping you longer in the market. That's why I said the knowledge of a lot size, you can tell how long your equity can withstand a loss. So with the knowledge of this lot size, you can tell that you need to lose 100 times of 40 pips to actually blow a $200 account as a scalper. And as an intraday or swing trader, you will need to lose 500 times of 40 pips to blow away your $200 account. So in between these 500 times, with a good entry, with a good risk to reward management, which you have seen previously in our previous video. If you haven't, you can click on our trading psychology part 2 videos to at least update yourself on what I meant by what I just said. So you can't just lose 500 times at the goal. This is still going to keep you in the market. You're still going to be a gainer in the market. equity actually correlates with lot size. Lot size is very important, and having this in back of your mind, you are actually become a better trader. You actually win more if you can correlate your equity with your lot size. Now, you can ask me questions about any other equity that you have and what lot size can you use. I'll be replying or make a video to expatiate more. But in this video, I've actually make use of $200 as an example, which because I recommend $200 for a starter. So I'm going to brief this again. As a trader, generally, I recommend you start your trading life with $200. So the lot size to use as a scalper, I recommend using a $200 account. I recommend you use 0.05. And as a swing trader, I recommend you stick to 0.01 lot size. So having that in back of your mind, you know that you will need to lose 400 pips to blow out your $200 account, and an intraday trader, you need to lose 2,000 pips to blow your $200 account. So how many times can you actually trade if you have a maximum SL of 40 pips? You need to lose 100 times before you can blow up your 400 pips. That is 40. That you need to lose 100 times for a maximum of 40 pips SL, and you need to lose 500 times to blow out your 2,000 pips of your equity as an intraday or swing trader. I hope this video has actually upped your game on how to trade equity with your lot size, how to correlate your equity with your lot size, and how to have the knowledge of lot size to know how long your equity can withstand the loss. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you stay tuned for other videos I'll be making. Now I'll be making videos on entries, on lot size, especially more on lot size, to stay connected and to stay informed. You can just on your notification button wherever you can see the notification button. And remember, always have it in back of your mind that it is not about targeting dollar, it's about targeting pips. Like I used to say, if you target pips, dollar will follow, but if you target dollar, you surely lose pips because of the greed. Thank you for tuning into this video. Do have a wonderful trading experience. Thank you. Bye.